My girlfriend sat me down one evening and said, I'm moving in with my ex so we can co-parent better. You'll understand someday. I nodded. Absolutely. Then I helped her pack and even drove her there myself. By the time I left something in their mailbox, her ex had kicked her out within 48 hours. I'm Greg, 36, and I'd been with Jessica, 33, for 2 years. She had a 6-year-old daughter, Emma, from her previous relationship with Nate, 35. I adore that kid. Tea parties, bedtime stories, Saturday morning cartoons, the whole deal. 3 weeks ago, Jessica hit me with the infamous "we need to talk." I've been thinking about what's best for Emma, she began, all serious. Nate and I decided it would be better for her if we lived together again. You know, for co-parenting. I just stared at her. You're joking. I knew you'd react like this, she sighed. It's not about us, Greg. It's about Emma. She needs both parents under one roof. Jessica, she has her own room here. We've been raising her together for 2 years. She rolled her eyes. You're not her real father, Greg. This is what's best for her. You'll understand when you have kids of your own someday. The condescension. The way she dismissed 2 years of Saturday 6 a.m. cartoons math homework. And can you check for monsters? Bedtime routines. So, let me get this straight. You're moving in with your ex? It's temporary, she said. Just until Emma's more stable. And don't worry, we can still date. You can visit on weekends. Nate's fine with it. Nate's fine with it. How generous of him. I took a long breath. You know what? You're right. This is what's best. When do you want to move? Her face lit up like Christmas morning. Really? You understand? Completely. I'll even help you pack. She hugged me, teary-eyed. I knew you'd come around. You're so mature about this. Yeah, real mature. Update 1. I spent the week being a picture of supportive boyfriend behavior. Helped her pack, organized boxes, labeled everything neatly. Jessica was glowing with pride over how understanding I was being. See, this is why I love you, she said, wrapping plates in bubble wrap. You get that modern families are complicated. Absolutely, I said. Hey, what does Nate's girlfriend think about this arrangement? Her face darkened immediately. He doesn't have one. We agreed, no partners in the house. It would confuse Emma. So you're both single, living together. For Emma, exactly. And maybe hold off on visits for a bit. Overnight might be too much at first. Emma needs time to adjust. The level of delusion was stunning. But I smiled, nodded, and kept packing. Moving day came. I even rented the U-Haul myself, because that's just how supportive I am. Loaded every box while Nate stood in his doorway, arms folded, grinning like he'd won something. Thanks for understanding, man, he said. Takes a real guy to put a kid's needs first. Oh, I couldn't agree more, I said. Children should always come first. Neither of them caught the emphasis. Once everything was unloaded, Jessica walked me back to my truck. I'll call you tomorrow, okay? We'll plan our first date night. Looking forward to it, I said. She kissed me goodbye. Nate was watching from the window. I drove off, but not home. I had one more stop, their mailbox, while helping Jessica pack. I'd stumbled upon something in her closet, a folder labeled legal documents. Being the helpful boyfriend that I am, I made sure it got packed carefully. But before that, I made copies. Lots of them. The custody agreement was fascinating. Turns out, living with a romantic partner affects child support. Even more interesting, Nate owed $18,000 in back payments. And the real gem? Printed screenshots of texts between them from a month ago. Nate, just move back in. We'll figure out the Greg situation later. He's too useful right now. Jessica, he's been paying half the rent and Emma's school stuff. Let's not rock the boat. Nate, man, what a sucker. Jessica, be nice. He loves Emma. Makes it easier. I slipped the copies into their mailbox with a sticky note. Nate, figured you might want to see what Jessica's been saying about your performance issues to her friends. Also, your ex-wife Carla might be interested in that $18,000 in back support. Already sent her copies. Good luck with the new roommate. Greg. That performance issues part? Made it up. But cheaters are always paranoid about what their partner might be saying. Update 2. My phone rang at 6 a.m. the next morning. What did you do? Jessica shrieked. Good morning to you too. How's co-parenting going? Nate's losing it. He says you sent him something. He won't tell me what, but he wants me out today. That's odd. I just dropped off some documents I found while packing. Thought they might be important. What documents? Oh, just some legal papers. Text messages. The usual. You really ought to be more careful with sensitive material. Silence. You went through my things. I was packing them. You told me to pack everything, remember? And eat it too. You wanted Nate's stability, my money, and Emma's admiration, all while pretending it was about her well-being. She didn't answer, just quiet sobbing. Then, through tears, I loved you, Greg. No, I said, calm as ever. You love what I did for you. She started to say something, but I hung up. For the first time in months, my apartment felt quiet, peaceful, even. No toys on the floor, no tiny socks in the laundry, just silence and clean air. A week later, I got a letter in the mail. It was a crayon drawing from Emma. Stick figures, her, me, and a dog we didn't have. She'd written, I miss tea parties. That one hurt. So I packed a box. Inside, her favorite storybook, a photo of us in the fair, and a note that said, no matter what happens, I'll always care about you, kiddo. Be kind. Be brave. I mailed it to Jessica's parents' house. Never heard back. Last I checked, through a mutual friend, Emma's living full-time with Nate now, and Jessica's bouncing between short-term rentals, trying to find herself. As for me, I found peace and a new rule for life. Never argue with someone who mistakes manipulation for parenting. Sometimes the best revenge is simply walking away with your dignity intact. Eat your cake and choke on it, right? Well, now she's doing exactly that. But the most unexpectedly satisfying part came from someone I never expected. Emma's school counselor. She called me one afternoon. Mr. Gregg, Emma's been asking about you. She's allowed to write letters if you're open to it. My chest tightened. Of course, I wanted to hear from her. The first letter came yesterday. Dear Greg, Mom says you don't love us anymore, but I don't think that's true. Do you still remember our secret handshake? I miss pancake Saturdays. Love, Emma. I replied right away, carefully, respectfully, and copied her counsel on the message. Dear Emma, I'll always care about you. I remember that handshake perfectly. Life changes, but the good memories stay. Keep being amazing. Your friend, Greg. When Jessica found out, she completely lost it. Called me, screaming about undermining her parenting. I told her, you moved in with your ex and expected to keep me as your backup. I'm just writing appropriate letters to a child I helped raise for 2 years. Spot the difference? Update 5. Jessica's downfall came courtesy of her own entitlement. Without my income, she couldn't afford a place. So she moved back in with her parents, who weren't thrilled to host her 33-year-old daughter and granddaughter in their quiet retirement condo. Then her father, Frank, called me. Greg, what happened? Jessica says you sabotaged your co-parenting setup. Frank. I said, did she tell you she planned to date me while living with her ex? What? No. Did she mention the text where they joked about me being a sucker for paying her bills? She said those were jokes. Did she tell you she said I'd never be Emma's real dad after I'd been raising her for 2 years? There was a long pause. No, she left that part out. I've got screenshots if you want proof. Send them. So I did. He called back an hour later. I'm sorry, Greg. We didn't raise her to act like this. Not your fault, Frank. You've been good at Emma, even Jessica. She just got greedy. Yeah. Last I heard, Nate had to sell his house to cover back child support and legal fees. Once the court discovered his hidden income, he was granted only supervised visitation. Jessica regained custody of Emma, but had to stay with her parents indefinitely. She's juggling 2 jobs just to pay a lawyer for full custody. She tells everyone I'm a narcissistic abuser who twisted the narrative. But after the screenshots went public, nobody's buying it. Then last week, I got one final text from an unknown number. You destroyed my life out of pride. Hope you're happy. I replied, I'm not happy or unhappy about it, just indifferent. You made your choices, and they had consequences. I simply let the truth be known. She wrote back, Emma misses you. That's manipulation, I told her, but it's still true. Then maybe you should have thought about that before treating me like an ATM while scheming with your ex. I never loved him. I love you. You love what I provided. That's not the same. Please, can we talk? We just did. Lose this number. Then I blocked her. Life moved on. I started seeing a woman named Claire. No kids, no messy ex, no drama. She earns her own money. It's refreshing. Final update. 2 months have passed since the mailbox fiasco. Here's where things stand. Jessica still lives with her parents, working as a receptionist by day and stocking shelves at night. Her social media is filled with cliché motivational posts about rising from the ashes and strong single moms. The comments are mostly hollow sympathy from equally bitter people. Nate rents a studio apartment, his wages garnished for child support. His ex-wife, Carla, even sent me a thank you card with a Starbucks gift card inside. There was a photo of her kids at Disney World and a note that read, the back support paid for this. Thanks for having more integrity than their father. Emma, that's the one part that still stings. Her counselor says she's coping but misses stability. I've saved every letter she sent and replied whenever allowed, always respectful, always to the counselor. Jessica tried to stop it, but the court ruled that maintaining positive relationships was best for Emma. Some friends said I went too far. You didn't have to go nuclear, they told me. But here's the truth. I didn't build the bomb. Jessica did, when she moved in with her ex while keeping me as her safety net. Nate did, when he hid money from his own kids. All I did was make sure the truth surfaced. Was I petty? Absolutely. Was I wrong? I don't think so. Jessica wanted everything. The ex, the boyfriend, the financial support, and the emotional backup. She bet on me being too kind to stand up for myself. She lost. The funniest part? About a month ago, Nate reached out, trying to bond over being played by the same woman. She used us both, man. Let's grab a beer and swap stories. Nate, you called me a sucker while you weren't on the plan. We're not buddies. We're not anything. Come on, water under the bridge. The same bridge you two burned down? Hard pass. He hurled some insults and hung up. Looking back, the warning signs are always there. The constant comparisons to Nate, the non-stop texts about Emma stuff that could have waited, the spark in her eyes when he showed up, and complaints the moment he left. I was convenient, that's all. But at least I helped Emma learn her times tables, taught her to ride her bike, and made her laugh with awful dad jokes. Those memories are real, even if Jessica's affection wasn't. People ask if I regret it. No, they schemed, I exposed them. Actions meet consequences. And Jessica, because I know you still cyberstalk me, yes, I kept every receipt for what I bought Emma. No, I'm not asking for the money back. Those were gifts to a kid, not investments in your grift. Next time you tell someone they're not a real parent, remember, real parents don't weaponize their kids. Claire thinks the whole saga is insane. Who moves in with their ex while dating someone else? Someone who thought she found an easy mark. Did she? For a while, sure, but suckers learn. Now, Claire and I are taking a cooking class together. No drama, no hidden agendas, no secret messages to exes. Just quiet, healthy, boring normalcy. It's wonderful. Oh, and that house Nate had to sell? The one Jessica couldn't wait to live in? I drove by last week. There's a rainbow flag in the window and a love wind sign on the lawn. The new owner seemed nice. Karma's got a sense of humor.